Hey, you guys, we are back with another episode of the warm up series. I'm here with Carlson, and he has set out a letter of love on the internet that's sending people ablaze. Like, when I looked at it, I'm like, wow, this thing is really going viral. This man put out a SWOT analysis
I tried.
and it went crazy. So, where was your mind at when you decided to put out this letter of love to meet your match?
Well, see, once upon a time back during the COVID era, I had already put something similar to this out there, right? Now, little context, that was the first time that I was able to kind of branch out and kind of see what was out there in the space that I was in because I was in Ohio. I had different living situation going on with my daughter, so I was able to kind of branch out and actually date, right? At that time, I wasn't in the best place as far as stability. I didn't have my own this, didn't have my own that, but I still was able to kind of venture out and get to know people. So I did like that back then. Fast forward 4 years later, here we are. A bunch of different life events have happened, right? Um, I'm in a good place in my life as far as just bought my first house 3 months ago, and that's where we are now. Glory be to God, right? And I'm just at a good place where I personally feel like it's the best time to see what's out there, and I just wanted to show that, hey, as a young, because I'm still young in my mind, right? As a young, established black man, that we still are out here. It's some of us that still want to be husbands, not just want wives, but we want to be husbands, want to serve our family, want to come home to just one person. Eventually, one day, that's the goal, right? You have fillers in between time and meantime, just like everybody else has dealt with. You have your people that you try to get to know in the meantime, and things just don't work out, and that's okay. But I still wanted to make a statement and let you know, like, hey, I'm here. This is what I got going on. I'm not perfect. Everybody got their dirt. They passed this and that, but this is where I'm at. This a new day, and I'm here, and my heart is open for love, right? So I just wanted to kind of lead by example and do that again. So that to answer your question, that's why I wanted to refresh it, bring back the old post from last time, kind of tweak it, show the new status updates, and yeah.
You seem very hopeful about love. As
Mhm.
far as you putting a letter out online, do you feel like there's a difference in meeting people organically in person versus online? Why did you choose the online approach?
Well, I feel like we can't really say where we will meet somebody and where we won't meet somebody, right? I know people have the different opinions and perspectives on, it's online, but it's always better in person. I get that. But instead of, let's just think about it for a second. How many bars would I've had or events would I've had to have gone to get that same amount of reach that the post did, right? You got to be a little more, you know what I'm saying, innovative nowadays when it comes to your approach, when it comes to putting yourself out there, right? Just because you got a dating app, let's say it's, either Tinder or Bumble or Hinge or what, Facebook dating, whatever the case may be, it doesn't automatically mean that, hey, this is where I'm gonna find somebody. You can go to every event in your city, but your city is so small, you only have access to those individuals, right? So that's why I had said, up to 100 miles from here is reasonable to me and feasible to me. Like that's what I'm willing to, show interest in, right? But why not social media? I see more reasons to do it than not, right? I'm not here trying to look cool, or nothing like that. That's some high school stuff. Like, hey, look, I'm a grown man, and if you a grown woman that I'm attracted to, and we both got similar values and goals, morals, and we want the same thing out of life, and they at an equal playing field as me as far as being ready to love and open to it, healed or in the process of healing. I'm like, let's see what's up. I just wanted to make a statement. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Okay, within the 5 years that you have been single, what
Mm.
have you learned about yourself?
I've learned that I have to pace myself. And what I mean by that is I'm a lover boy. You know what I'm saying? If anybody knows anything about the astrology and signs, they say Libras are liars. That's catchy for social media. But this Libra here is a big lover. People have vouched for me. I've wanted my own family since before I even had my own daughter, right? This because I came from a home that didn't have the full construct, right? So you grow up wanting that. I wanted to be the best husband, the best father, and I'm trying to do that now, right? So, in the 5 years that I've been single, I've learned how to pace myself and don't be too quick to just throw out. everything up front because that can come off as love bombing. That's the topic that they coin it, right? That's the phrase they use, right? But I like getting flowers on the first date. I like having the second, third, and fourth date already planned before we even go to the first one. That's showing initiative in my mind. But everybody can't is not able to receive what you're willing to give, and that's okay, and that could cause somebody to feel overwhelmed, right? It's just like pouring, a gallon into a cup. You'll overflow every time, and you'll end up dating the same person and having the same result because your process is the same. So I had to learn how to pace myself. So that's one thing. Another thing I learned about myself is that I'm not always right. In the 5 years, I definitely reflected on my last, major relationship. Won't get into the extreme details of that, but I will say that, I was wrong in a lot of cases. I was the reason why that particular situation didn't go right. I said this on a comment in the status that I made. I said, once upon a time, I was emotionally ignorant. I'll say that. I'll raise my hand and say that I was. But you have to go through things in order to grow.
Give me 1 second before you go deep dive into
Go
that.
ahead. Go ahead.
What does it mean to be emotionally ignorant?
Okay, emotionally ignorant is when you are, for me, I'll only speak for me, when I was not willing nor able to truly empathize with the raw emotions of the woman I was dealing with at a particular point in time. I'm thinking that it's my way or the highway, or I'm ignoring a problem, sweeping it under the rug. So not passive aggressive, but just passive attentive. I want to use that phrase. I wasn't as attentive as I probably should have been. I allowed myself to put a unit in a situation that I wasn't prepared for. For me, I had to put myself in a position where I'm where I want to be at in life, because the old saying is true: misery loves company. If I'm miserable in my personal life, that's going to bleed over into my friendships and definitely a relationship. They're getting the brute force of that more than anybody else because they lay up with you every day, right? And I came to the conclusion that, hey, I got to be real with myself. Let this person know, like, hey, I'm not where I need to be, right? Instead of dragging it along and taking somebody through the trenches, I decided it's best to be alone, get yourself together, and get yourself prepared to be that which you are trying to portray. I'm trying to fit the shoes of a role that I'm not ready for. Let me be real about it. It sucks, it hurts, but that's the truth. The truth hurts, but it'll set you free. So in the 5 years, I've kept that in mind, and I made a vow to myself. Actually, I said, and me and God had this conversation. I said, don't let me get into nothing that I'm not prepared for and that you didn't send me. So yeah, I've been single for the past 5 years. I've tried to date with good intention. And over the past 5 years, I'm still single. Again, that just means stuff don't work out. That's normal. I bleed red like everybody else, right? So those are the main things that I've learned over the course of the 5 years, for sure. How to pace myself. I've become more emotionally intelligent over the course of the years. And I definitely learned how to manage my finances, because that was ghetto at one point in time. But I'm leveled out now.
Okay. What are some deal breakers?
Deal breakers. The top three, real simple. I'm a straightforward guy. Gotta respect me. You can't embarrass me, and you can't disregard me expressing myself to you at any given point in time. I'm big on understanding that you have to become the person that you're looking for. And I'm still a work in progress. I don't have a checklist of what I feel like a person is supposed to do. I don't like that language, that verbiage. Hey, just be my partner. I'm gonna be your partner. Whatever you need from me, let me learn you. I hope that you learn me. Let's get through whatever together. Keep folks out of our business. And really, that's the deal breakers. Just being a respectful person. Don't embarrass me. If we together, I don't need to be. I made a joke on one of the comments. I'm like, look, if your Cash App history, your Zelle history, and Venmo is full of guys sending you money for whatever, like, that might not be for me. Like, I want a woman that's of good character. I don't want to feel like when I take you into a room, it's three other guys that can look at you in a certain way because they know that they got some dirt with you in the past, and it puts me in a position where I see the looks, but I'm not understanding what's going. It's embarrassing. The same way it would be embarrassing for a woman if she 100% faithful to him, and he out here giving out community. You know what? You know what I'm saying? It's just embarrassing. So big on embarrassment, and then like I said, if I express myself to you, like be able and willing to receive that the same way you would want to be received. So reciprocity, that's my deal breakers.
Okay, we talked earlier briefly about knowing if she's the one.
Yeah,
How long does it take to know if she's the one? And do you have any things you look for that tell you, oh man, she's the one, or what's that process look like, and how long does it take?
you take this charger out real quick to set the phone down so I can really give you 100% of the energy. So for me personally, it don't take too long. And when I say too long, I mean it takes realistically, I would say between 30 to 90 days to really see if this person is one consistent and showing that they're into you. You know, you can get a good feel for a person's routine within 30 to 90. Um, and within them 30 to 90, you see, does this person's lifestyle mesh well with mine? Do they really like me for me? We going out. I'm seeing you in different lights. You know, whether you're happy, sad. You know, your cycles, your of happiness, sadness. If you got kids, how do you nurture the kids? Are you real motherly? Are you real hands on? See, I pay attention to stuff like that. I pay attention to what's your friend circle look like. These are things that I don't tell nobody, but I peak game. You know, because that's what's important to me if I'm thinking about longevity, right? And for me, um, in the past 5 years of getting to know people and stuff like that, I haven't really made it past that 90-day mark because either myself or them will decide that this not a good fit, and again, that's okay. But I would say if anything lasts after the first 90 days, I feel like it's a good indication. Not always a thumbs up, right? But it's a good indication that it's going in the right direction because we both continuously showing up for one another. So that's why I think I might have said on the post too that if I can only speak for myself. If I'm talking to somebody consistently and we make it past 90 days and 180, we made it half a year together. Oh yeah, we can take that to the bank. We probably gonna end up getting married at this level in life. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't give that much time to anybody unless I'm vested. We got kids now. We got lives, responsibilities. So like I ain't playing with nobody. Like what we gonna do? Oh look, I put the thumbs up on that. I didn't mean that. But yeah,
Okay, I know you spoke about your mom,
yeah.
and her. How does your mom play a role in what characteristics you look for in a wife?
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. That's real good. So like my mama, she's very, very, very nurturing, very caring, very kind, very selfless. She's always put the family first for sure. Always laughing, and joking with us. Always prepared little tests for us, for school to practice the multiplication, stuff like that. Took us places on trips. She was very heavily family oriented. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of memories of my mama trying to be out in the clubs and stuff like that. Like very wholesome, small town country. Like mama's making sure that we good. You know what I mean? Uh, so yeah, like with my mom, I feel like when it comes to me dating and how she would play a role in it, like I want somebody I can definitely show my mama. You know what I mean? Like, I want somebody that I could be like, she's a reflection of my hard work and sacrifice, right? That it makes sense, for this person to stand beside me, that I'm a reflection of their hard work and sacrifice just as much as they are a reflection of my hard work and sacrifice, right? It's not all about the looks, but at the same time, physical attraction is a thing, right? I want her to be attracted to me, I gotta be attracted to her, right? But somebody that just fits into my life just as much as I fit into hers, and I want my family to approve in that sense. Mother. I want my mama to be like, man, I see you, son. I want my uncles to be like, all right, nephew, I see you, and definitely would love to. It's my personal prayer that my grandmama get to see me happily married before she pass into the next round. She'll be 80 years old this December, and she up and moving still. So that's a personal thing too. Like, I'm not out here playing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm setting myself up to where I'm able and qualified to my by my own standards to really be the head of a household. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. I got a long ways to go. But it's very important to me that who I choose is somebody that, my mother approves of and that I can showcase to the world. But definitely to my family first, but showcase to the world to be like, I'm proud of this person. I'm proud of my kids. I'm proud of my home. I'm proud of my vehicle, my dream car. I'm proud of being in the military. I'm proud of my woman. My woman being that's my main thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hope that answered the question.
What qualities make you a good leader and a good husband? or give you the potential to be a good leader and a good husband?
See, now that I'm not. I can't say that I'm prepared to answer that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because what I might think is good ingredients for
It's
me.
absolutely what you think. Go with it.
Okay, I'll go with it. So I feel like I'm rooted in God in the sense of like I don't go to church all the time. Bad on me. I need to get back, find me a church home up here. I know. Do I read my Bible every day? I don't. But what I will say is that anytime I got a problem, anytime that I just feel it in me to do so, I'm talking with God. We having a conversation. My name is familiar up there in the Rams up there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, with that being said, when issues do come up, somebody sick, it's a death in the family, friends acting funny, money get funny, or we broke down on the side of the road on our way up a hill and it's icy and the car break down. I have the spiritual fortitude to not stress and to just, hey, look, let's just go to God on this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, if it's something we can't fix, let's just go to God about it. We don't need to go to our mom and them. We don't need to go to social media and them. Hey, let's go to counsel about it. You know what I mean? I think that's important. I think a family that prays together stays together. I'm really big on that. So I pray with my daughter. Most of the time, not all the time. I'll tell the truth, but she know who God is. I make that a mission for me as a father to teach her who Christ is, right? So that she knows that you need to always go to him and not people, because people will fail you, right? That's one quality. I'm a clean person. I'm a very clean person. If I was to do a 360 of my career right now, I'm nice and tidy. That might be the military. I mean, I don't know, but I like structure. That's the point I'm trying to bring about. I'm a structured guy. You don't have to worry about, am I gonna be all out times of the night? I'm all over here, all over there. I go to work, I come home. I'm a homebody. I like to be set down somewhere. You know what I mean? And I think that would make, that's a good quality. Some men are all over the place. Want to be over here, they still got the desire, the single desire to be all over. I ain't got that. I done had my run. I'm tired now. I want to sit down. I think that's a good quality. And then I think three, I'm preparing myself in my singleness to be in the role of a husband, and I feel like that entails having a service, the spirit of a serving spirit. It's not about what you're willing to gain and take. It's about, am I willing to give so that she can receive and multiply and give it back 2 times fold, right? Like, I look forward to taking care of whoever's under my covering, kids or my partner. What can I do to serve you? That's my mindset. Because I might have given A, B, and C to another woman, but you might not need A, B, and C. You might need X, Y, and Z. I want to study you and learn. I want us to be best friends, right? So I feel like that's another good quality. And then I'm goofy as a mug. Like, I mean, I joke. I check. I'm from Memphis. Like, that's what we do. Like, I like to have a good time. I'm not just a square person. If I come off as lame, hey, so be it. If lame is being, subtle and just staying out the way, I'll be lame any day of the week, right? But I like to just, be chill. I'm a family guy. And I think that makes me fit for what I feel would be a good husband, the role of a good husband, I think.
Describe your perfect date.
Perfect date. The perfect date for me would probably be where we doing something competitive so we can talk a little trash, so it ain't just uptight. What's your favorite color? Where you from? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do some type of arcade. Let's go to like a Dave and Buster's. Let's go to Top Golf. You know what I'm saying? Let's do something where we moving and grooving. And then let's not just stop there. If we really having a good time, let's go grab a drink over here at this place I saved in my phone. I've never been there before, but since I'm with you, let's go check it out. That's that earth sign in me. I like to just go with the flow, spontaneity, right? So for me, it's a going with the flow, a natural flowing thing where it's not just a one-stop shop, right? And it's just flowing. I'm equally interested in her. She equally interested in me. We laughing, having a good time, and just vibing. So like that's a good first date to me. Some in that ballpark.
What are some things that women have done to turn you off that they may not even know that they did?
um, I remember when I first met this one young lady, real sweet, very bubbly, very kind. But I noticed when we went to a particular bar, you roll with me to this particular place. So it's kind of the underlying understanding that we together in this space, but you was entertaining and all in another guy's face. To me, that's disrespectful. Cause flip the script. If I go with you somewhere. If I met you randomly at a concert and it's after the concert and you like, man, come with me, let's go to the bar. We clearly showing concern and interest. And then when we get there, I'm all in another woman's face. Well, clearly I'm not interested in you, right? So it just that's a little disrespectful. That rubbed me the wrong way. Now I pay attention to patterns. So it happened again on another outing. And that's when I'm like, okay, this is just how this person is, and I just cut them off. You know, I we couldn't even get off the ground. So that'll get somebody cut off. Another thing that occurred where I cut somebody off was probably let me think. If I noticed that if I notice that they're coming off as more of a liability than an asset, in the sense of like if let's say we talking about a trip or if I want to go somewhere, right? If you aren't able to take yourself on the trip, then I probably don't need to entertain it. I had to learn that for myself. Talk to people that's kind of on the same lifestyle level as me. But that's my fault as a man. I'm gonna put that on me. I ain't gonna put that on them. But it's just frustrating when, you know, you talking to somebody that can't do for themselves, but they expect you to do it. That's a frustrating piece. But I'll take more on that than them. Um but another thing that'll cause me to cut somebody off and they won't even know it is probably just inconsideration. Of an inconsiderate woman is not for me. To somebody else that might be cool, oh, that's just her. It bothers me. I'm a very considerate guy. If I see that you got your hands full and you trying to go through the door, I'm not gonna wait and see you struggle to open up the door knob. I'm gonna open it for you. Just the little stuff like that go a long way with me. So I want somebody that's considerate like me in that regard. But that's pretty much it. If it's not one of the boundaries that we talked about earlier, respect, embarrassing, and disregarding me expressing myself, it's not too much that I would stop dealing with somebody for that I can think of off the bat, anyways.
Okay. Building up to the cutoff, what does that look like? Is it a conversation? Is it just like this isn't going anywhere? What does the build up look like?
In most cases, it's probably what you're thinking. It's like, it just two people just go separate ways. Because usually the communication just takes a shift. If y'all talked every day at this time, this hour, and it just stops, that's a telltale sign that it's a shift in the atmosphere and something to change. So there are signs before it's an immediate, I'm done talking to this person. Like it's a slow build up that just happens on one side of the fence, either me not connecting with them or them not connecting with me. In a perfect world, you would have a conversation, but everything does not warrant having that conversation. If we've only been conversing for a week, I'm just gonna leave you alone. There's no need for us to have a conversation. But if we've been talking for about 90 days, I'm gonna give you the respect of reaching out to see what's up, inquire what's on your mind, how you feeling, what's going on. So it just depends on the tenure of the time that's spent. You know what I mean? So every situation is not created equal in reality. So it just depends.
Okay, spinning the block. So once it's done, or do you
Listen, so it depends on who it is and how the last spin start. It just depends. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, like 98%, yeah, once we done tried it, it's done.
let's
We
talk about
started.
the 2%.
Okay, let's talk about the
What
2%.
made you what made you be like, you know what? I'm gonna
Well,
spin the block.
and this is the 2% is the delusional part that does not exist in reality that we all
She was
hold on tight to.
fine. They look good. Was it the look?
Man, it ain't even the look. It's how you treat me. If you know how in your mind, we all got a person in our mind that if they just acted right, we would today, right? It's like one of them situations. But you can't make somebody want you for you, right? You can't make somebody fit into what you need. So that's when it comes into doing the work and knowing what you need and discerning that from what you want. Because sometimes we focus on what we want, and it keeps us away from what we need. I've learned how to focus more on what I need. That's the 98%. But I can't sit up here and lie to you and say that I don't turn and look at the 2%. So the 2% look good. 2% might feel good. But 2% ain't gonna take you where you need to go. The 98% is what's gonna get you right and keep you in alignment with what God got for you, in my opinion. So that's maturity. If I was 21 years old, place a gamble on that 2% because that's what I want. 2% might act right. You never know, but I'm grown now. Give me that 98.
Yeah,
Give me what I
how
need.
was the 2% treat? You said it's how they treated you. What were they doing?
Well, not necessarily how you treat, because sometimes when you mess with the flesh weak. So if the 2%, if y'all, soul ties and stuff like that, that 2%.
Ah, now we're getting to the
You know what I'm
real.
saying? You know what I'm saying?
You
So,
said so much without saying so little.
that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. So
I
that
get
two
what you're saying.
It's
I
hey,
was like, I'm
hey,
a make it make sense type person, so I'm a
yeah,
sharpshooter. So
yeah. So yeah.
that's so the flesh. It was a
So the
fleshly
flesh
type
weak. The
situation.
flesh is absolutely weak. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to know how to keep yourself away from stuff that you know ain't gonna take you where you need to go. You know what I'm saying? That's maturity. I wasn't always like that.
Hmm.
Most
So
guys could probably say that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
intentionality, intentional dating. At
Yeah,
this, I don't know why the thing keep doing the thumbs up.
I'm gonna keep my
I
thumbs
have
down.
no.
Yeah,
Okay, so at this point in your life, you are dating with intention. Let's say a girl, maybe she's doing some of the stuff you want, but and you want her around, but not as a wife. Are you going to entertain her or cut it off?
I'm not gonna even. It's not gonna be cut on to cut off. Like I'm not going to entertain something that's not. If I don't feel like it could go somewhere, I'm not gonna entertain it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm just not. I'll if I feel like it could go somewhere, I'm gonna entertain it. But once I get to the point where I realize like this ain't a good fit, it's not checking the boxes that I need. That's when I'm like, hey, I like you as a friend, I respect you as a friend, but like I just don't see you in that role, in that light, and that's okay. Some people will be selfish and across a certain line of no return to be selfish and please this, the flesh. But I'm like, I got more respect for myself and the person, whoever I'm talking to. Like, let me let you know how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, no, I'm not gonna entertain none if I don't see it potentially going somewhere. If it got potential, I'm gonna see what's up. You know what I'm saying? But if it ain't got the potential, I'll just leave it alone.
Okay, so what are some telltale signs? And this is kind of sidebar,
No, you good.
but what are some telltale signs somebody is stringing you along versus they see you as the one? Like, what are some characteristics or some traits that a person can look for that, oh, this person really sees a future with me versus they're using me for the moment?
I feel like for me, I feel like I'm liked. I feel liked when a person answers the calls. We talk frequently. That might look like daily. Um, I sense sincerity when they do talk to me. It's not just me inquiring with how their day is going, what they got going on. It's not me sending a paragraph and getting the response back. It was good. Like you could tell when a person's interested in you. They'll inquire and ask questions. If they don't ask questions, if they don't reciprocate the energy that I'm giving, because I lead by example, right? I'll always give what I hope to receive. So if I throw it and you don't catch it and throw it back to me, that's when I pace myself and pull back, like I've learned over time. Don't have date two, three, four, five, and six planned out when you don't even know if this person's pre-qualified for number one from the jump, right? It's good that I got the intent to do that, but everybody does not deserve my intentions. You know what I'm saying? And as a man, I wasn't taught that, and I learned the hard way, just like a lot of other men. So I ask questions to see if it warrants me going to that next level. And if I don't feel, you're speaking in the language of women, if I don't feel like this person appreciates me for me, is interested in what I'm interested, such as longevity, family, spending time together, because my love language is quality time and physical touch. If this person says, I'm not affectionate, I'm just not an affectionate person. Hey, baby, we ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna waste your time. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how fine you are. It doesn't matter how good you look. You're not a good fit for me. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I need and I know what I'm looking for. So those are kind of my signs of what I look for to discern, like, is this person a good fit for me to like see if there's an interest or not.
Okay. Um, let's say let's say the lady is,
Uh-huh.
let's say she's gorgeous, she's
All right, all right.
fun, she's
Get into it.
she's everything you could want, but there's one thing outside of the physical touch and the love language. Let's say it's one thing that kind of irritates you about them. Could you guys work through that or?
It depends on what it is. Like, it depends on what it is, because certain stuff are non-negotiables for me. Like, give me an example. Can we get more concrete
Let's
with
say
it?
you're very tidy. Let's say she's not tidy.
As long as she ain't trifling, like, we could make it work, you know, because I
Or let's
don't
say
know.
she can't cook.
I mean, that's okay as long as she's willing to learn with me. Cause I'm not the best cook. That's something I put on my SWOT analysis. I ain't the best in the kitchen. I'm not the best when it comes to my diet. I will say that. I need better discipline. I want my partner to help with that. I can do it on my own, and I'm working on it in my singleness, but that's something I definitely want me and my partner to focus on when we are together, regardless of whether or not we done did the work before or during we get our relationship. Like, that's something I want to focus on, health, because I want to live long. It ain't just about looking good. I want to feel good, be around for grandkids and stuff, right? So we got to eat right. So
Oh, okay. That was just gonna be my next question. Weight gain. So you're not gain. She's not gaining weight because you guys are eating healthy.
there you go.
So is her diet a deal breaker? Like her going to the gym, eating healthy?
Oh, now, mind you, you gotta become the person that you're looking for, right? I don't go to the gym all the time. I don't, I'm. It's on my mind. I'm gonna get there one day. It ain't today, and it probably ain't gonna be tomorrow. But I want us to be with us both to be willing and to be able. So in the able department, if you are already 600 pounds, we probably wouldn't be a good fit. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're not able to, or probably might not even be willing at the time to like make that. That's a big drastic life change. You know what I'm saying? But if you a normal girl, average girl, right? Like, hey, we all got a little weight on. We grown. We growing older. Like stuff happens. You ain't gonna look 21 forever. Sooner or later, you
Mhm.
gonna look at your age. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. But let's just move together. Let's go walk the neighborhood together. Let's go, do a little the step climber. That is the devil. The step master is the devil. Time stop when you get on that. But be willing, right? Like, that's all. Just be willing and be able. That's all.
Okay, you are in the military. So is ambition a deal breaker? Let's say she's not as driven as you. Let's say she's a nice girl with an average job, with no ambition for real, but she's, hardworking. It may be the job she has.
Yeah.
Is drive a deal breaker? Like, do you want her? Does it matter?
I don't really think it really, as long as she's stable and a person that can take care of themselves, that goes to the just willing and able. You're not lazy. I can't be with a lazy woman. But you don't have to have a whole game plan, master plan. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to invest in this. That's what she got me for, because that's in me. She doesn't have to be on the same type of knowledge base when it comes to like investing and stuff like that. It's me. That's something I bring to the table. But if she's willing to be like, hey, owning a car wash do sound good. How could we do that? Well, baby, we might need to get business credit and do it like this, and it might take about 2 years. But once we do this, this is what the income could look like. If she's willing and able to have a conversation with me like that, then we can work together, right? I need a partner, right? Somebody that's not lazy, got their own career, got their own drive and their own job. Nothing wrong with that. I'm an average guy. I'm nobody, special, millionaire, billionaire. I'm just a regular guy that's just trying to find his way in the world, right? So again, if you're a teacher or a lawyer or a doctor, that's cool. Just as long as you are willing and able, what I'm saying, to assist when need be. Yeah.
Emotional regulation. How, let's say you and your mate are in a heated argument. How do you normally deal with elevated arguments?
See, I don't even let it get to elevated. We don't do elevated. I don't do elevated. Now
Well, how do
back when
you
I
come and stop it from getting to that point?
You stop from getting to that point by addressing the elephant in the room once the elephant is in the room. Like, let me give you a realistic sense. I'm looking at my experience bank. So once upon a time, there was an issue I had with an individual I was talking to, and I give myself a gold star for how I handled this. Told him to pull up. We sat down at the table. And I actually prayed first. I know that may sound cliche, but I legit prayed about it. I said I prayed in front of her, like, Heavenly Father, I want to pray that you allow for us both to listen, to understand, and not listen to respond. Pray that you, watch our tongues so that we don't say nothing we don't mean. In Jesus Christ's name, we pray, Amen. Simple, short, and sweet. So I'm putting God in the mix, right? That's showing that I'm submitting to a higher power. It's not all about I'm the man. I said this, like I'm leading by example, right? Whether she follow it or not. I led right. And then I let her speak her piece. Like, hey, what's bothering you? I want to hear you, let you get it out first. And then I'm going to process and we can go from there. The individual expressed their concerns. I listened, not to respond, but to understand and empathize. And then I stated my piece and my reservations with it. And we got to the conclusion of, hey, boom, boom. And it was done. And then we went to Dixie Queen and got something to eat.
Um, Healthy couples. So, how often do you feel like a couple should go out on dates?
See, that just
And
depends.
like for you,
For
not
me, I would
in
say
general.
I would say as long as it's frequent and often. I can't put a number to it or nothing like that because we know things change. We got kids, folks get sick, things come up.
What's frequent? What does that range look like?
Frequent to me would be realistically like quality. Any quality time spent with my partner is a date to me. Whether it be in the house with us just watching movies or us going to a spot we never been to before, I would say in a perfect world at least once a week. I don't think that's unrealistic to me. Um, let's spend some type of intentional time together at least once a week because we got the routine. Kids go to school, this and that. I understand that Friday nights, family night, but Saturday, hey, it's me and my woman, and this is
Mhm.
what we do. Whether it be y'all go somewhere else and we kicking it here, clean up the house, whatever, or we going out. Like, I don't know how realistic that is because again, I'm not in there. But in a perfect world, that's what I would like to do. Where every week we got some time we pouring into us. That's what I
Okay,
feel.
it's a quote that says, "Date them all." How many women do you feel is like, as far as not even just dating, but let's say you're in the talking to stage?
Okay.
How many women do you feel is fine to talk to at once, or how many people do you feel is okay in the talking phase to talk to before you actually enter the relationship phase?
I feel like for me personally, the most that I could entertain as far as like just talking to, and when we say talk to, I feel like that's like the initial 30 days. Cause for me, after 30, I'm probably locked in and just focused on my favorite one in the realm of dating. I would say the most I could see myself entertaining one time, just talking, getting to know initially is probably two because I don't like to be nobody's pen pal. I'm not into the texting all day, FaceTiming all day. I'm into the let's plan something, let's do something. You know, I got a child, so I don't like to waste no baby free night. I like to get out and do something. And when I get my hair cut, I like to be seen, let's go do something. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I got my dream car. I call her dream. I like to take her for a spin. Let's go do something. You know what I mean? Or let's just sit down inside. Let's make a meal. Let's make some, salmon or something. Let's do something we ain't never made before. But yeah, two probably at the most to talk to, but no more than that.
The conversation of leaving them alone, do you just kind of let it fizzle out with them with your least favorite, or do you have a conversation stating that, hey, I've found
It just
someone?
it just depends. It just depends on the context. Cause like I said, most people don't make it to 30, let alone 90. People nowadays, as I'm sure you're aware, people are just disingenuous nowadays. People swipe right. It's just quick and easy. Swipe right. Oh, this ain't working. I cut you off. Next. Oh well, uh, like you said, date them all. She wasn't really interested in you from the jump anyway. You was
Mhm.
just filling in her time anyway. So that's why I took this approach. That's the reason why we're here. Put yourself out there. See who likes you. Of course, not all of them are genuine. I know that, but at least see who is attracted to you. Then it makes my job easier because a lot of other guys are in the perpetual stage of let me throw out the bait, see if she bite it, right? And 9 times out of 10, it don't work out. That's just me throwing out my personal statistic. But instead of me being in a situation of you're looking for me to impress you, let's both see about just showing up for each other at the same time. It's not about gesture because I can have a good time with anybody. Who's here to get to know me? Because I'm here to get to know you. It ain't about money. There go the thumbs up again. But yeah,
Okay. Anyone from, like, you don't have to go into detail, but has anyone from your past checked off the qualities you would want in a wife? And if so, what were those qualities?
absolutely, absolutely. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I wish I could say their name. No, they ain't gonna do that. But I'm gonna tell you some qualities of one particular individual. They showed that they had a nurturing spirit. They also showed that they cared about my well-being. They showed that they liked me for me. It's that simple. Like those qualities made me think of that person in a different light. Maybe I could go the distance with her. But at that particular point in time, I wasn't where I wanted to be. So out of respect, I leave it alone. I can't take it from A to Z because I'm not as the man, as the leader, where I'm in position to do so. I'm not in a position of strength. I'm a pawn. I'm not a king just yet. But when the moment I became a king, what's up, man? I'm with somebody now. Hey, it be like that, and you got to respect that. So, but that person was phenomenal, still phenomenal, a good friend to this day. Uh, but yeah, those are the qualities that make me see a person down the road, and not just right now, not just to match pajamas, not for just a summer fling, but somebody that I can see myself growing with. It's somebody that shows up when I'm at a low point, health wise or finance wise or whatever the case may be. They still show up and don't make me feel less than just because. So yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah.
Okay, how long did it take you through you guys dating to realize, like, man, this lady is phenomenal? You said she's phenomenal. How long did you guys date before you like it really kicked in? Like, wow, she's awesome.
It was definitely within probably less than 30 days where I seen that person's spirit, and I'm like, oh yeah, they legit appreciate me for me. Very thankful in their way. Thank you for taking me out. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate you. You such an amazing man. Like those words of affirmations that I'm not used to getting receiving. Like it makes a person stand out to me. So like it don't take long to know what you're dealing with. For me to know what I'm dealing with. Because I know what I need, right? So less than 30. Definitely.
Okay,
I
I
can't. I
think
can't.
I think you while you looking for your wife, I think you learning the people some. When you say a nurturing spirit, what does that mean for a woman to have a nurturing spirit?
Let me speak as if I'm that person I'm talking about. Have you ate today? How your baby doing? You good? How you really feeling? How's your mental? Like just inquiring about how you feel as a man is something that most men have never experienced, nor will they ever experience from a woman in a longevity piece of time. It just feels different when you feel like somebody legit care about you, because most people out here don't care about you. They just don't, you know. And from the male perspective, the validation is not daily. If you put on your makeup and your best, you look your best self and you post a nice picture, you'll at least get the validation online. Nobody's sliding in our DMs like that. Nobody's telling us you look handsome today. Nobody's telling us every day, oh, you depending on what cologne you put on, dang, you smell good. What's that? Like, that's not normal for us, but it's normal to, so it just feels good when you feel seen. That's nurturing to me by my definition. You feel like somebody sees you. That's the best way I can explain it. Because a lot of men out here don't feel seen or heard. And it's sad. So, but yeah, not trying to go deep, but yeah, that's what it feels like to
Mhm.
me.
Okay, so you are from Memphis, and we have this quote unquote hard on them philosophy. How do you feel about that philosophy, and how do you feel? Because I know you like nurturing, so hard on them is totally opposite from nurturing.
Mhm.
Do you feel that that's tricking people out of love, and if so, why?
I feel like all of us want to love somebody, and I feel like all of us want to be loved by somebody. I feel like life's experiences have really hardened the heart of our culture, because it's not just a black thing. I think a lot of us just need to sit with ourselves to focus on bettering ourselves so that we can present ourselves in a better light in the world. Because like I said earlier, you have to work on becoming the person that you're seeking. Your problems are not gonna magically go away when somebody magically enters your life, because they need something from you too. If you can't give what you're looking for, that's delusional. How is it working so far? I mean, here we are. All of us got dating apps. All of us are single. All of us are hopeful, waiting for the right one. Become the right one, and then you'll meet the right one. That's what I'm convinced. And if I was anybody else that didn't have no sense, had gold grills in my mouth, didn't take care of my daughter, was a deadbeat, didn't attain this level of success in society that I've obtained, that post wouldn't have did what it did. But it's something about the internet saying a young black man that's well groomed and whatever the kid got his daughter with him, this and that, that it gives people hope, right? And I'm glad to be that. I'm glad to be for even a moment. We'll forget about this a month from now. I ain't gonna be the topic of conversation. But what I represent is that, hey, it's a black man out here that's willing to love somebody, right? That's important. We need to see more of that. This shouldn't be a talking piece. All of us should be like this. All of it wasn't like this back in the day, but now that we got these devices and social media, loving each other has just become that much harder. Minutes it used to cost to talk on the phone, but and then now that we got unlimited talk and text, we don't even talk no more. We don't even do that no more, right? So it's like, let's just get back to that old school, vibe. I'm going on a tangent. I'm speaking from a place of passion, but I'm not. I'm gonna get you got it, but
Oh, you're fine.
yeah, I think it's tough. It's sad that the older we get, it's just harder for us to connect to one another, and that's what we really want, right? So yeah.
The young lady that you spent the block to, we're gonna circle back to her. How did she reshape the way you view love?
Um, it showed me that I had grown because I was in a place in time where I was transitioning from focusing on what I wanted to focusing on what I needed and respecting it and seeing what long term looked like. We're gonna all change in shapes and sizes, but a person's heart remains the same. And that's what I feel like as men we have to focus more on instead of just looking at the aesthetics. Yes, it matters, but not to the degree that we place our value on, and that I place my value on. I'm not talking about nobody else but myself, right? But that is what that person did to help shape my view on what I know I need going forward and the types of women I need to entertain going forward. To answer your question,
What types of women do you need to entertain going forward
the
outside
only
of just
the only type of women that like me, I like women that like me. If you like me for me, and I'm attracted to you, and you attracted to me, we gonna make something happen, and it's that simple. It ain't nothing deep. I'm not even checking if you do this and do that. Don't none of that matter. We can get to that later when we get to it. You like me for me? Yeah, I'm attracted to you. Okay? That's part of the equation. Am I attracted to you? Okay. Now we getting closer. Do our morals and values and what we want out of life sync? Okay. Now we trying to go to you. You want to be a wife one day? You want a husband? You want more kids? No. You know what you want? We want the same thing. It's just that's how it works for me. So it's very simple and methodic in my mind. I don't make loving me hard, but I don't think I do at least, but that's how I see it in my mind. Like I like girls that like me. I'm not trying to convince nobody. I'm not in the process of convincing. I'm not doing it. I'm not in the process in the game of impressing nobody. If my personality don't impress you, nothing that I can buy you is gonna do that neither. And I don't want a girl that can be bought. I don't want that. If you're not here for me, you don't need to be. I'm not for you. You for somebody else.
okay, were you ever unhealthy? Like, did you ever have an unhealthy way of loving or dating?
Absolutely, 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 100%.
Can you describe it?
I'll describe the context of how it came to be, and then I'll get into the specifics. So, growing up, I didn't have my father there, and when I did have a stepfather, he was very passive aggressive, and I grew up telling myself I'll never be like that. But in saying that, you still grow up seeing certain ways, and if you don't see a man handle conflict with a woman in a positive, healthy light, you only do what you know, right? So, and when I was, 18, 19, 20, I was dating an individual in college, sweetest pie. I think she's married now, got two kids, got their own house and stuff like that, but very sweet. The people that know me intimately and went to college with me know who the individual is. But, this person, taught me how to love somebody, how to forgive, and even in spite of myself, definitely helped me grow up. Showed me that they had my back when nobody else did. Showed me what forgiveness was, even when I was being a damn knucklehead, right? But used to be passive aggressive, used to be emotionally ignorant, used to, think it was a my way or the highway thing, a fragile ego, you know what I'm saying? Because you just didn't know how you should be treated as a man. So everything is a slight, right? And then I'll tell you something else. Also having the wrong type of men in your ear telling you about your woman at that particular time, and even to this day, is a no-go for me. Learning how to keep other men's opinions out of this so that I'm not hardening my heart when it comes to the person that I'm with was definitely something that I took away
Mm.
coming up in those relationships because people will want your woman giving you advice and talking about how she ain't this, she ain't that, and then be in her DM behind your back. I've seen it. So I've experienced that. So I'm like, I don't trust people like that. I don't hang around a lot of guys because of that. People will be snakes. The snakes are the ones closest to you. But I definitely learned a lot from that particular relationship. And then, like I said, my most recent one too, like just learning how to be whole within yourself so that you can take your whole self and add to somebody else's plate. Not looking to feel validated as a man by having a good woman, but like just taking my time to get myself in a position of power emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
mentally, physically, financially, so that it makes sense that we're already on the same level. We're not doing this with contingency in mind. We doing this because we want the big picture. We want this to last, right? So to answer
Okay.
your question,
What did healing look like to you? Like once you said, okay, I'm unhealthy, like what did it look like to acknowledge you were unhealthy and then your healing journey? What did that look like?
for me, what it looked like was sitting my butt down somewhere, as my mama would say. Sometimes you gotta have seasons where you ain't on no date now. You're not trying to get to nobody. You sit with yourself and you get to know yourself, right? You do the work where you saving money, getting yourself out of debt. You might go to the gym here and there. You might make a new recipe here and there for yourself. I bought a juice. I started juicing for a little bit. I started trying to make overnight oats at one particular point in time. I need to pick that back up, right? I just tried to find myself in myself, right? I sit down with myself and then I'm thinking about, dang, you wasn't really, you didn't go about this situation in the past the right way. You're just thinking to yourself, right? Self-reflection, right? And I'm like, dang, you're right. I was still getting embarrassed sometimes. I think about stuff I did in the past. I'm like, dang, bro, I'm watching my old self do this. I'm like, bro, you ain't got to do all that. It didn't take all that. You know what I'm saying? I have those thoughts that way going forward. I'm like, if I'm approached with a similar situation, I'm like, hey, handle it this way. You ain't got to yet to get your point across. She's still a woman at the end of the day. Be soft with her. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you want this person to love on you and to be sweet to you. Lead with that. You know what I'm saying? Talk to somebody you want them to talk to your daughter, right? So as you grow and mature, you realize, hey, I wasn't always right. But this is what we're gonna do different going forward, right? So that's what it looked like for me. And even to this day, being okay with sitting in the house by yourself. You don't have to find somebody tomorrow to be moved in next month. Anything rushed is not of God. Take your time, pace yourself, get to know somebody and see if it's a good fit. Don't be too quick to fill a role just because that's what you want. See if that's what you need, right? So that's what my healing process has looked like over the past, I want to say 4, 5 years for sure.
Okay. What advice would you have on with to someone who is presently looking for love? It can
Male,
be a deep
female,
answer.
both. Okay.
You said, go ahead.
I would say honestly, like focus on getting yourself together in the sense of, are you even ready to give what you're looking to receive? And it's okay if the answer is no, because everybody's in different places of their life. I would tell somebody just take your time, get you where you want to be, and don't think that having somebody that's gonna magically just elevate your life and make your situation better. Because a lot of people are dating for help; they're not dating for purpose, and that goes for both men and women. I don't need to get into the specifics, but we see it every day, right? Um, People don't even have no business talking to each other at the same time, but they'll do it anyway because it's convenient to save money, to save bills, doing it for the kids, not doing it for themselves. You know, be there because you want to be there, not because you have to be there. I want somebody to love me personally because they choose to. It's not because of how I make you feel. Feelings are fleeting, right? I want you to see me as the type of man that I am personally and choose me because of how my spirit is. And I feel like that's what people ought to do. Heal yourself so you can see in a different light and see from the lens of this fits my purpose, this fits where I'm going, and not so guarded to where you're too hard for anybody to even want to look at your direction, right? That's what I would say. Just work on overall, just getting yourself to where you want to be at. That way, shoot, when you meet somebody, y'all are powerful together. You can give to them what you're looking to receive. That's what I would say.
Okay. Thank you so much, Carlson, for being on the
Absolutely.
show.
I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.